Congratulations! Hello! Welcome to another Dreadlocks question and answer video. I believe this is the 47th one I've done, which is kind of mad, but if you keep posting the questions, I will keep attempting to answer them. First question I've got this week is from Toaster467, and Toaster asks, question, what shampoo do you use? I've used a number of different shampoos over the years. Some are certainly better than others. Not all Dreadlock shampoos were created equal. At the moment I have a couple, kind of swap between the two. I have some Rocking Locks shampoo. I have the old Rocking Locks shampoo, the silver Rocking Locks shampoo that you can't actually buy at the moment, which is not all that useful for recommendations. And I have some Dreadlocks rosemary and peppermint, I believe it is. The Rocking Locks is just a plain and simple residue-free shampoo. The Dreadlocks has some essential oils in it. I like to balance the two up. Sometimes I like the extra oils from the Dreadlocks, sometimes I'm just not feeling it. A bonus I do like from the oils in the Dreadlocks is that the peppermint oil, when I leave it on my scalp for a little bit before washing it out, gets that sort of cool peppermint feeling. But those are the two shampoos that I currently have in my bathroom. Autumn Schelde, I hope I pronounced that right, asks, some of my dreads look very braid-like. Is this normal? Or did my friend possibly mess something up when she twist and ripped them? Should I redo them or should I just leave them alone? Sometimes you can find young twist and rip dreads that have a braided texture. If there's not enough sort of randomization going on in what you're twisting and what you're ripping, if you keep repeating the same thing over and over again in the same place, it can look a bit braided. It is not a big deal. It is a little bit annoying because some people will say, hey, you don't have dreads, you have braids, which is not all that constructive or helpful. But by the time the dreadlocks are matured, they should have completely lost all their braided texture. It is not something that you would need to restart your dreads over because although it's not, you know, the most dreadlock looking texture, it isn't sort of life-threatening for the dreadlocks. Sent MGA asks, question, I did half back comb and now I'm going for neglect. I've had them about 8 months, but I've been growing my hair for close to 4 years. How much longer for the loose hair to dread? It's about 6 inches. Every dreadhead is going to have loose hair, and that's whether you have brand new dreads or really old mature dreads. Generally, as time goes by, you will have less and less loose hair because over time those loose hairs will interact with each other and either form new dreads or lock up into existing dreads, but there's always going to be some degree of loose hair, and it kind of fluctuates with the seasons. You can find that you get a bit more loose hair in the summer when your hair gets greasier faster and the humidity just kind of pups it all out, but everyone is going to have some loose hair. At 8 months, I would not consider it weird to have loose hair, even if it is quite long. Different heads of dreads are going to progress at different rates. So where some people may find that their dreads have gotten most of the loose hair locked up at 8 months, others may find that their dreadlocks are only starting to find their way at 8 months. And for this reason I can't really give much of an indication as to when that loose hair will lock up. But you can encourage the loose hair to knot up if you want. You can wool rub it and that will encourage those loose hairs to sort of knot up with each other. You can spray them with sea salt spray, that will dry them out a bit and make them a bit more inclined to lock. Or you can just play with it a bit, and if you just twist it around your fingers, play with it in your fingers a little bit, you can start to get those hairs to form knots between each other, and once they have started to knot up, they can find their way a lot faster. Aiden McKinley asks, question, what should people expect when first washing their dreads? I remember when I first washed mine, a lot of my root came loose. Was that normal? The first wash can often be a big freak out moment because you can start your dreads really tight with your back comb or your twist and rip or whatever you've gone for and be quite confident with them up until the point that you give them the first wash, and then after the first wash they've become looser and frizzier and messier, and people don't normally like that. It seems like a backward step. With the first wash you can expect that some loose hairs are going to get pulled out and that various parts are going to come loose, the roots, tips, pretty much all over can slacken up. In the short term this might not seem like all that great a deal to have your dreadlocks become loose and messy. In the long term it is much better to have them clean. So first wash, it is going to loosen them, it is going to make them messy, but you know, the young dreads is kind of part of the deal. Don't freak out. Facebook question this week is from Caleb Heffelfinger. Caleb asks, will young, frizzy, dreaded hair unfrizz on its own? Yes, over time, frizzy hairs will lock down by themselves. As I said previously, it is summer at the time of this upload, at least in the northern hemisphere, and if you live anywhere where there's any sort of humidity, you will find that your loose hair is being pretty frizzy and mad during the humid months. Especially if you have young dreadlocks. Young dreadlocks are always going to be looser and messier messier, and you just kind of have to not so much deal with it, but just survive it. Over time, loose frizzy hairs, they will knot with each other and they need to form new young dreadlocks of their own, or lock into existing dreads that they're close to, or sometimes a bit of both. Sometimes the loose hair forms little baby dreads that then get sucked in by the neighbor dread. Those are my questions for this week. If you have a question that you would like to ask me for the Dreadlocks Q&A, you can post it in the comment section below. Please write question at the start of your comment and it will join the queue, or you can join the Facebook page at facebook.com/LacyDreads, and on the Facebook page each Tuesday I post a status asking for Q&A questions. Whichever question gets the most likes by the time that I next film my Q&A, that question will get answered straight away that week without going through the queue that there is for the YouTube comments. If you liked this video, if you found it useful, helpful, informative, interesting, you can click the like button, then I'll know that you liked it. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, you can subscribe and then they will all be sent to you. If you're looking for Dreadlocks information, tips, guides, help, advice, tutorials, questions being answered, even this exact video, you can find it on LacyDreads.com. You can always find all my content on LacyDreads.com. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Farewell.